just want her love. I know this pretty sweet girl, I wish you could have seen her. I know she got some problems, but I don't wanna leave her. And every time I see her, she makes me get this feeling. It feels just like I'm dreaming, gets me higher than the ceiling. I know this pretty sweet girl, I wish you could have seen her. I know she got some problems, but I don't wanna leave her. And every time I see her, she makes me get this feeling. It feels just like I'm dreaming, gets me higher than the ceiling.
Recycling my 2020 Kandi into something I actually would. Yo, this came apart so easily. You, the string is so gross. Using my favorite colors. Adding spikes. Done.
How are you doing that? Bang, bang, bang.
So after I made the tutorial for this bracelet, a couple people asked me how to make one with an odd number of rows. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to be making a gender fluid pride cuff. We'll need about 20 beads of each color, or basically just enough to keep it going around your whole wrist. So to start off, you're going to take your very long piece of string. You just double it over so that both ends are together in your hands like this. Then take your top row color and put one bead of each on either side. Then you're going to take that all the way down the string, hold it like that. Hold it like that so these two beads are side by side. Then, next row. Make sure your beads are side by side, pinch together both ends of the string, and string together one bead of your next row color. Tug it all the way down. There you go. Next row, you're gonna put two beads again of the next color. Pull it down the same way. Then put those ends together, put that bead on. And then our final row, just gonna take two again. When you have an odd number of rows, you are just going to stop after that last row of two, pull everything down, make sure it's tight, and then tie that in a knot. It's as easy as that, then it's going to stay there. So now that you are at this point where you have tied it, you are going to continue feeding your string through here, and you'll see this empty space between these two beads. You're going to fill it up with another bead and string right to the next one. Then you're going to do that again and again and again and again. You got your bead on there, string it through, pull it through, you're at the other end now. All you gotta do is just continue moving, taking the next color of bead, and you will just string it onto the end there, and it should just slap right on. And of course, the next color. What makes this process slightly different, other than the way that we tied a knot here, is this. So, wait, let me demonstrate. So this is our 6-row cuff. And as you can see here, there is just one row of string along each of these. That means you don't have to loop back at all. But if you look at the odd cuffs, you can see that they are doubled over. I am really bad at explaining stuff sometimes, so I'm gonna just demonstrate it and hope it is clear. So let's say you finish your row, you will double back and loop your string through all the way to the end. So you cannot really physically go in this bead and then somehow put a bead in here and also in here. You really can't do that. So you have to, instead of going through that bead, I go through the bead to the left of it and I loop it over. Now this will double up the string on that side, and now technically you could continue building the cuff, but I have noticed if you just start building the cuff again, there will be this alternating pattern of like 2 strings, 1 string, 2 strings, 1 string. Every time that I do that, I've noticed like that the tension of the cuff is super messed up. It doesn't look right. What I found works, instead of just going straight into building the next row, you're gonna double it around twice, just to make sure that it's secure. That's what I do anyway. Not a necessity, I don't think. You see in these cuffs of two, oh my god, I missed one. Just demonstrating the doubling over thing. You just pull it through. Start by going to the left bead, because you're basically just gonna go on this path. You know, you're just gonna go on a little walk around the bracelet. That is pretty much the only thing that is different between the even stitch cuff and the odd stitch cuff. Like I said, I'm not going to show as much of the process of building it because I showed that more in the other tutorial. So I'm just going to show you again a recap of how to tie it off once I'm done. Okay, so once you've reached this point, it took me about 25 minutes. You are going to loop it around and fit it together like a puzzle piece. I'm just going to string my string in between all these beads so that I can stitch it together. You're gonna want to meet both beads.
Not beads, string. I said the wrong word.
At the end, and then tie them off here. And I even doubled it around and looped it. I don't know why that one was so hard to tie. It must have been camera shy. Snip, snip. That, my friends, is how you make a cuff with an odd number of rows. You can buy them on my shop, Strawberry Candy. Thanks so much.
How long you been doing hair?
For like 3 years.
Yeah, that's cute. Can you turn around for me? Yeah.
Tutorial for how to make a star cuff. Another example. You'll need pony beads, scissors, and string. This is what string I'm using. To start, you need a 1x X-base cuff. There's a tutorial for how to make one within the playlist. If you don't have string left over from when you made the actual X cuff, then tie about a wingspan of string onto it. Make sure that the string is coming out of these two beads at the top. String on 11 beads in a pattern similar to this, but it doesn't have to be exact. For example, when I made this, I used this. And when I made this, I used this. Now that we have our pattern of 11 beads strung on, we are going to follow these 3 beads from where the string is coming out and go through these 2. Then tug tightly, and you have your first point. Then string on your pattern of 11 beads again, and we're going to follow these 3 beads and go through these 2. Once strung through, it should look like this. And we're going to make 3 more of these little points to go all around and have 5 points overall. Once all 5 are added, it should look something like this. Now I'm going to string on the first 3 beads in this point, so I'm going to, for me, put a shiny pink, then 2 normal pinks, but you would match whatever you have. Now that I have the 3 beads strung on, I'm going to string into the 4th bead out of the 11, so for me it is this pink bead, and you're just going to string it on in and pull tightly so that it looks like that. Then you're going to take your string and you're going to string it in this bead, this bead, and this bead, and this bead. So that is a total of 4 beads, 5 if you include the first one. So after stringing through all of them, it should be coming out of this one. Then once again, we are going to be stringing on the first 3 beads out of this so that it matches. Once they are strung on, we are going to skip these 2 and go through these 2. And then we are going to tug so that it looks like this. Then you are going to continue that 8 more times all around. Once you do it all around, it should look like this. Now I suggest tying at this point, so to do that, I'm going to go through this hole, and then I'm going to take the string and click it there, and then pull tightly. Now I'm going to string through these 2 beads so that it's coming out here. Once you string through those 3 beads, go through these 3 so that it's coming out the big point at the top. Once it's at the top, string on 3 beads that match these 3. So for me, I'm going to do big pink, medium pink, and then lightest pink. Now that my 3 beads are strung on, I'm going to go through this bead in the middle right here. And then I don't suggest pulling tightly for this part because it might misshape these points and it'll be hard to tell it's a star once it's fully done. Then you're going to string on beads in reverse of this, so I'm going to put it in the opposite order, so light pink, medium pink, bright pink. but you would do whatever matches yours. Now that my beads are strung on, I'm going to go through the big pointy pink. And then I'm going to do that all the way around, so 8 more times. Once you're done, it should look like this all the way around. And now it's time to tie it. So I'm going to take the string and put it under the little bridge, and then have it click to that bead, and then I'm going to pull tightly, and I suggest doing that multiple times. Cut off your string, and you're done. You have a nice little star cuff.
How long you been doing hair?
For like 3 years.
Yeah, that's cute. Can you turn around for me? Yeah.
I got bored, so I decided to make some candy. It's just an X-base cuff and rainbow. My fat-ass fingers make it take longer, but I still like it, LMAO. Once you do the last layer, it all comes together. I was gonna make it a 3D cuff, but my attention span shifted to cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Enjoy this awkward quiet end.
Having to cut this cuff because I need the beads. Don't mind me struggling to cut this. Nitrogen monoxide just said already. Finally.
Beads.